If you're having trouble with the uploader or skip trace and you're not understanding why you're not able to advance after mapping out your fields from your columns in your CSV file, this is the video here that will hopefully help you understand what the issue is. So we're going to navigate over to our file and we're going to start with a skip trace, but the same logic applies to the uploader when you're uploading properties in the campaign section of the site here. So we're going to browse to our file. I got one ready here. This is a probate file. Click next. And the main thing to remember here is you need to map every single column that we're calling out here, right? You need first name, last name, you need mailing address, city, state, and zip, in addition to property address, city, street, and zip, right? Okay, this is a column that we'll skip. So I'm going to skip that column because we already have property address here. So I'm going to go back up and we're going to map this out. So we got first name. It's always best to map out first name and last name separately. If you're mapping out entities, put the entity in the first name column. You're going to have a much lower hit rate with those, but you're not charged for no hits, so it's worth a shot. First name, last name. Now we got mailing address, mail city, state, zip. We're skipping this column because that's a repeat. And you need to make sure, I'm glad that we brought this in here because you need to make sure that your address is split out into these columns. You cannot upload the address into a single column. The system needs to recognize the columns individually. So now we have property address, city, state, and zip. Now you can see the next button has activated and allowed us to proceed. But I'm going to go back up before I do that and make sure that I've done this correctly. First name is mapped correctly, last name, mail address, city, state, zip, skipping, and then property address, city, state, and zip. Everything looks good. Now we're able to proceed. Once you understand how much you're going to be spending here, also you need to understand that this is a non-refundable fee because we get charged for this data. So if you map things incorrectly or if you start a large file, we're not able to refund you. So make sure that you've done it correctly the first time, which is why we have this disclaimer here. So we purchased the skip trace and we're on to the next. So this will process and then you can push it to the campaign when you're ready to, or you can export out your CSV to get the full access to the emails and changes of address if you want to do that as well.